Hello guys, today I will go live with my friend who recently came back to China from Indonesia. So we will talk about his experience of dealing with the Chinese embassy in Indonesia when he was trying to get a new Chinese visa with PU letter. He was trying to do that in August before there was a news that foreigners can come back to China. So he actually did that visa and he will talk about that. So all these 5 years you have been having a working visa in China, right?
Correct.
At the beginning of this year, you've been in China, but then you left at some point, right? When was the last time you leave China?
I left on 20th of January, as I recall.
Okay, 20th
and
of
actually
January.
that
Just right before the pandemic,
exactly,
right?
Exactly.
Was your company like trying to help you to get you back to China?
Yes, of course. But they were
Okay.
constantly in touch with, I guess it's called Foreign Affairs Office or something like that, in the Zhejiang province where I am. I think my whole process started somewhere in August, I believe, and it took more than a month to get the letter itself, right? And once the letter was issued, I messaged because the letter states which consulate it is directed towards. For example, for me, it was Embassy of China in Indonesia. So it's directed towards.
So it is that PU letter, right?
For me, it was TE letter, but it's one of the same thing. I think some are PU and TE. Yeah.
PU letter. It is issued by your company, right?
No, it is issued by Chinese government. It's more like a JW202. If you recall the student visa that you get a paper.
Okay.
From the Chinese authorities, visa issuing authorities. So it's basically they scrutinize all your information and check who's the inviter, where they are going to come, blah blah blah, all of that thing, and then they issue that letter to you. That letter you have to take it.
But the company goes to that Ministry of Foreign Affairs, right?
Correct.
To get that letter.
Correct.
For
you have
right?
you have to provide certain documentations.
Documents, yeah.
Exactly.
To confirm that you are actually
photo,
employed
passport, there. Yeah, all the things. Not only you are employed there, but also they need your personal information as well. Like how many times you have been to China or not, where are you working, and probably they collect all the information that you could provide to them. For example, they ask for my bank statements, they ask where I live, and all these kind of stuff. So there's like a whole documentation that you have to go through. It's like coming to China for the first time. So for the first time,
Okay.
all the documentation that you require, you probably give those. And for me, they asked more because they were like, if I could have supporting documents.
Okay. Do they also check the company, like where you're working, like the company revenues or taxes? I've heard about that too.
I'm not so sure whether they provide. I think if you have all the right documentations, then I think it's okay, because the certificate that you get when you open a company in China, that number you could just put it online and you will get all the details about your tax, revenues, everything, because everything is computerized and recorded. So anyway, when I got the PU letter and I asked the Chinese embassy in Indonesia that, hey, what's the next procedure, when can I come, and everything, and they were like, sorry, you are not allowed to apply now, you are not eligible to apply. And
Still
I was
not,
like,
even
yeah,
with this letter.
even with this letter, because
By the way,
apparently
yeah. Sorry. This letter is is issued by the Chinese government and then sent directly to the Indonesian embassy.
No. They have a stamp, and you can get it in PDF or hard copy. I just got it from like in a PDF form. But it has
Okay,
that Chinese
electronic
seal in
version,
it, so
right?
you could just get that, electronic version. I got the electronic version. Later on,
Okay.
I printed it out, and then I had to go. So basically, I was telling that they refused to process my visa initially. They were
Yes,
like, we
yes,
can't
yeah.
do that, and we were like, and I was like, why? And they no reply. They were only replying that you are not eligible to apply, but they were not telling me any other information, and they were not even giving me the information whether it's because I'm a foreigner. Do I have to go back to my home country and then apply? And the biggest problem was that the embassy was closed, so you could only email to them. You could not even call them because the office was closed. Everybody was working from home or remotely, so embassy was closed because the situation in Indonesia was also not very good in terms of the cases were rising. And so the Chinese, I believe it's still closed, like they're not open. So after like 2-3 weeks of repeatedly calling them and sending them emails, like they were not answering the calls, but sending them emails every day. They finally told that one day they said, okay, you could do that, and you have to email all the documents that you have. So they did. It took another week or so. So I'm talking about early September. I'm talking about early September when they. So I sent them all the documentations. They checked it. It again took them, I think, 2 weeks to get back to me by telling me, because once what they do is they get all your documentation through your email, and then they go through it. Once they think if anything is missing or any of that stuff, they let you know by email that you have to provide this document or that document, or this is wrong or this is right or whatever. Then what you have to do is you have to they call you physically to physically submit your documentation plus your passport. In my case, again, it was a bit tricky because they said that your documentations are all okay, but it is still TBD, which means to be declared to be decided by the embassy.
Yeah. To be determined.
But I think what China in order to get the Chinese visa, I think what they have done significantly, they have improved is that they open a new website called visaforchina.org, and over there you could actually go to a specific country or a specific embassy, and you could start your process there. So everything is online. So what you do is you fill out that. It's a lengthy, like 10 or 12 pages application that you have to fulfill. Once you fulfill that, then you have to provide the supporting documents. So basically you just have to provide the application and your passport, theoretically. But practically you would have to supply all the supplementary documents which could prove that you are working legitimately over there. So so in my case, it was my working permit, my residential, how many times I have been in and out of China. So the pictures of my passport, my bank statements. In my case, because I was in Indonesia, so I had to provide a valid visa as well. So since I had the valid visa, so that these were mostly the things that they required. For me, they also required my home country bank statement, which was a bit weird and tricky. But anyway, I provided to them that as well. These were all the things that I provided to them, and I think they found out one or two things up and down, and I improved it. And then they called me to physically submit the documents at a center which is only for the collection of the documents. So they are not the authority. They are like the middleman who would get your documents and then will give to the embassy. And then the embassy is going to issue you a stamped whatever visa or something of that sort, entry visa. In my case, they asked me to apply for the business visa, so the Z visa. I know for a fact that most of the teachers who are coming back, they applied for F visa. which I don't know what exactly is F stands for, but I think for me they asked me to apply for Z visa, so I got another Z visa. And right when I think my when I submitted the documents, even at that point in time I didn't know whether I will get the visa or not, because they said it's to be decided and we can't tell you. And I was like, but they gave me a receipt and they were like, come back to us in 1 week time or something. I was supposed to get my visa on 29th, something like that. And then on 28th of September, I think they issued that now you don't need to apply for a new visa and you don't need PU letter and everything. And I was like,
okay,
great.
yeah.
So in my case, I had to. So in my case, like
you had to feel all the pain actually first,
exactly,
and then it was a relief. Yeah. So after that, so you have like double entry. Like you got the special stamp, right?
But actually, I got like a proper visa, like a proper stamped visa. It says
sticker.
The sticker stamped. Yes, it says Z visa, and you have to get it.
And within 30 days, you have to change it
3 months.
to the residence permit, right?
3 months.
Oh, 3 months. Okay. So do you know? Okay, if everything goes smooth, you arrive at Ningbo. Do you know what you need to do next, like in terms of your visa?
Not I believe
nothing.
No. I think I have to. I would definitely have to, because it's a new visa that they issued to me. So I am pretty sure that I would have to go back to get my residence permit renewed. So it's the same process that once you come back, you have the visa, then you go to the local authorities, and then they will issue you a new residence permit, I guess. Even though my residence permit is valid, but I still think they're gonna renew it, or they're gonna cancel the old one and they're gonna issue a new one.
Okay, so same process. Go to immigration and police, right?
Yeah.
To register yourself.
Correct. And then there is a new registration of this quarantine. Actually, there's gonna be somebody who's gonna be looking after me, or you can say like somebody who's gonna check upon me when I'm arriving, where I'm arriving, when I'm going to go for work, and something like that.
So do you have any tips for those who are coming back to China right now? Any tips, any advice?
No, there are 2 or 3 things, right? So before you start with the visa process, I think you don't have to panic. All the information is provided online. You make sure that you go through that information very well. Once you have all the documents that is required by them, once you provide them, you will get the visa, or you will get the invitation, or whatever you are looking for in order to enter China. That's number one. Number second is, once you get the visa, make sure that you follow all the protocols that are provided in that wherever you are. So every country, every city, Chinese embassy issue a very detailed circular. What are the things to be followed before you board the flight? Make sure that you follow those steps as well.
And all this information you said is on this visa to China.
Visa for China.org.
Visa for China.
Yes, and then you can go to your respective embassies, Chinese embassy in wherever you are. So let's say if you're in Indonesia, Chinese embassy Indonesia. But it's just that it's very lengthy, it's very detailed. You have to prepare so many documentations. That's the biggest. But then again, there are certain things that are beyond our control. So for example, in my case, I had all the documents and they still say no, you cannot apply it. You are not eligible, and they don't tell you why. So this is something which is, because I think it's a very different time. So the policies are changing on daily basis, or weekly basis, monthly basis. We don't know what's going to happen.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your story and all the useful information. Yeah, I hope you test negative and you arrive your Ningbo apartment safely.
Thank you so much. All right.
Okay.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Take care. Bye.